Hello, hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face and my card making space. And a project that I started after messing up. I don't have the footage to show of the project that was messed up. That was part of the mess up was I'm a professional. I wasn't filming. However, I had leftover reinker on my palette and I decided to do a very simple background painting with it, and I've done many videos of watercoloring with reinkers, and I'll explain the things when we get to it. And then, yeah, turned it into a fun little background, stepped it up with a stencil, splatter, die cuts, all the things, and ended up with a finished card. So, everything I used will be listed and linked in the description box below the video. My links are affiliate links. That just means that if you click on one of my links and end up placing an order, I do get a little kickback from that at no extra cost to you. That's what helps pay the bills, keeps lights on, enables me to keep bringing out content. And yeah, let's get into making this card. So I've got a panel of watercolor paper, and this is just Canson XL watercolor paper. Another one of my go-to cheap watercolor papers. For something like this, you don't need anything fancy, literally, at all. And I've taped this down to a hardboard with just low tack tape. This just keeps everything flat so that the paper doesn't start to curl or buckle or anything. And then reinkers. I'm using Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated Reinkers. These are water reactive dye inks. The thing to remember with reinkers is you can watercolor them with them. I have done this many, many, many times, and I've used many types of reinkers as well, distress reinkers and Altenew fresh dye inks, Concord 9th, etc. Anything water reactive. The thing to remember is reinkers were not formulated for that. They have been formulated to reink your ink pads. So there's additives in them, to keep them from drying out. So the absolute biggest takeaway to watercolor with these is you need water, which I know sounds silly, but you need water. If you take the straight up liquid reinker and paint with it, you'll get vibrant, beautiful results, but it will never dry, or it will take eons to dry because that's not what they were designed to do. They're concentrated for your ink pads. So as long as you add water, you're good to go. So I had these reinkers just on my palette from the previous project. I'd only put literally 2 drops of each color on here and had all this color left over, which I don't care. Sometimes I'll just rinse it off. It doesn't matter. But there was so much and it was pretty and I was like, what can I do with this? So I just did stripes. I am using a 1/2 inch wide little brush here. It's from a little Altenew set. And I'm just kind of going in basically rainbow order. I'll have all the colors that I use linked, but I started with watermelon and then I went into coral, then honey. Now I'm at Pearfection. And I had dropped a couple drops of water into each of those pools of color. These will on the palette somewhat dry. If you leave them and come back to it down the road, heck, weeks later. The only thing you got to remember again is dust will stick with them, but it'll dry to a degree. But if you wanted to stick your finger in it, it would be sticky because again, these are reinkers. So you can though add come back to it. You can stick these in a little palette and come back to it, add water, paint with them. It totally works. So I had added some water and then off to the side, kind of off camera, I've got my jar of water that I rinse my brush out in between and just paint. And between each stripe of color, I use my heat tool to dry it. If I didn't do that, each time I go in to paint a new stripe of color, the color would start running into the next because if there's any wet areas, that's what color wants to do. It's going to travel. And I wanted these stripes to be pretty distinct and not blend, but this is another thing you can experiment with and have fun with because sometimes it can create some really fun effects. But I wanted to keep it pretty straight, pretty straightforward. And I just freehanded this. You could also take, use a ruler, draw a grid for yourself, really light lines. I felt comfortable enough just doing it like this, just eyeballing it. And besides, I knew we're going to add splatter and stenciling and all the things. So it doesn't need to be perfect, but you can do that, So I painted my way down. After Pearfection, it was Ocean, then Crocus, then Taffy. And then at the end, I added a bit more of that watermelon color. And dried. In between, dried when it was fully done. And as you can, I still have color left on that palette. So once it's dry, I remove the painter's tape. I'm not worried about like a little bit of the mess because we're going to die cut this down, but you want to make sure your whatever you've painted is fully dry because otherwise the tape can tear. Even if it's a low tack tape, it can tear the cardstock. But I remove the tape. I die cut it with one of the Simon's A2 rectangle wafer dies. And then I was only going to add splatter, but then I was like, wait, I could use a stencil over this and that would look really fun. So I pulled out the Petal Lattice stencil and some black opaque distressed texture paste. This stuff I love, especially if you want a black paste. Highly recommend this. This is one of the ones where I wouldn't even, I tried it many, many, many years ago, like tinting a white paste black, to get it to look like this. Not worth it. It was an absolute disaster. It changed the consistency. It just didn't give me the results. I much prefer the black opaque texture paste. In fact, I've almost used up this entire jar. I love it. So I applied it very messy. I didn't use a grip mat or anything. I didn't want it perfect. I just wanted the texture. So I applied that over the stencil with a palette knife. And then I just use my fingers along that one edge there because there's like pieces hanging off and I don't want that there. I've shown in other videos too, sometimes you can just let it dry and then flip it over like how I do with die cuts, things hanging over the edge. You could let it dry and then just flip it over and just use your scissors to trim off or a paper cutter to trim off any little bits hanging off the edge. But while it's still wet, I just brushed off my finger, cleaned off my stencil, palette knife, etc. We're good to go. So once this was dry, I matted this to a panel of black cardstock that I die cut with the largest of the Postage Rectangles wafer dies. I love that die set, and there's something about a postage edge that I'm just, oh, it's satisfying. Anyway, adhere those together, set those aside to dry. Card base is top folding A2 white note card. And I've got the inside of the card here stuck to a grip mat. And I'm going to use that Petal Lattice stencil that I've cleaned off. And I'm going to use all the same colors of inks, just from their ink pads, and the Pink Fresh blending brushes because I want this to be light. And these colors are all very intense. Another option would just be I could have used like the lightest shade of these trios because Simon's inks all have like a trio, a light, a medium, and a dark. And most of the colors I used, in fact, I think every single color I used, with the exception of maybe one. Yeah, they're all, with the exception of one, they're all the darkest shades of the trios. So I could have just grabbed the lightest shade of each one. But instead, I just use these brushes. And you see, I don't even end up actually using the ink pad itself. I barely touch the brush into like the extra ink I have in the lid there, from tapping from other blending brushes and things like that. Because I want it light. Because you need to be able to write over this. I don't want that super intense. Like each of these colors on its own is very, very intense. I just want light. So barely touching the brush to the ink. Barely touching the brush over the stencil and cardstock here. And I went in the same order and this background made me so happy. This would be so pretty on a card front too. But again, it took me like 2 minutes. It's great. So that was the inside with the pattern. And then to add a sentiment, I'm using one of the sentiments from the CZ Design Bereavement Thank Yous. And I'm going to ink this up with Nocturne ink, stamp that onto the inside, and not finish off the inside. So now I can adhere this panel to my card front. And again, I love that postage edge. It's so good. So I adhered that, and now we're gonna add some splatter. So I'm gonna use the Positively Perfect white and then the black splatter mediums, which need to be stirred up. You got to stir them up. All that pigment settles to the bottom, especially with the white. If you don't stir it up, it's kind of like milky looking. It's not very nice. So you got to stir it up really well. So that's what I did, and then I used my fan brush and added a good amount of splatter. Now, when you splatter over something like this, like a background like this, that you've used a very intense, like reinkers or just intense water reactive colors, watercolor, whatever, almost any white splatter you apply over it will change just depending on the color, all the different factors. But as that splatter dries, it's also like absorbing that color. I'm fine with that. I'm just saying it because I've had some people like, I want the splatter to stay white. On backgrounds like this, the chances are very slim that it will, because that splatter, as it's drying, is absorbing some of that color, and it just changes, and I'm okay with that. So I did the white. I also added black splatter. That sentiment was from the XL Reverse Friendship Easy Strips pack that I had die cut with the XL Easy Strips banners wafer dies, and I've used them in a couple videos already. And I like having those die cuts because everything's ready to go. I just had to grab the pack and I adhered it to the card front with some Big Mama foam tape. And then my butterflies are the Flourish Butterfly Trio that I've used in multiple videos already. I'm obsessed. I die cut the bodies from white cardstock, and all that pattern's just pierced into it. It's perfection. Or the wings from the white cardstock. The bodies I die cut from some Moonstone glitter cardstock. Just this is why I keep all my cardstock scraps, but especially my specialty cardstock scraps, because I had tiny little scraps of that glitter cardstock, and it fit perfectly for the little body wafer die from the set. So I assembled them together. Assemble the wings, add the little bodies, adhered them to my card front, and then as my final little embellishment, I'm using some cream puff little confetti bits and kind of figuring out where I wanted to place them. And these very much change depending on how the light hits them. Like right now, they look very blue purple. Where I'm looking at the pack as I'm sitting and editing this, and they're reflecting like they look more cream and they're reflecting like kind of pinky green. They're neat. They're really pretty. And yeah, they just change depending on where the light hits them. They've got a very iridescent little bit to them. So I just adhered a few of those into place with some dabs of liquid glue. And then I just got to let the glue dry. And this card is complete. So very simple watercoloring, and then splatter and texture paste and butterflies and a bit of glitter cardstock. That inside with that stencil, oh, so good. So good. This was fun. So I'll have links to all the things in the description box below the video. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with me, for thumbs upping and commenting. Subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to have you. And I'll see you all very soon in another video. Goodbye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!